Hello and welcome, it's Rooflemonger with another tips and tricks guide, this time detailing Nemesis and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So in this, we're going to go over some of his specials, some of the specials more in depth, like rockets and all that, because very important to his game plan. Some stuff about his armor, some little tidbits, and I want to talk about his reset game, it's somewhat in depth. But anyways, without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so now to go over his special attacks, first I do want to mention his command normal. That's forward fierce kick in both the air and on the ground. So it's a multi-hit move. It does a nice little chunk of damage. It is special cancelable. But keep in mind there, so I did get the combo there, so that would have led to a full combo. But if you are further away, nothing's really going to connect, as you see there. So if you're looking for combos, you got to be a little closer. But do keep in mind, you know, you can tag and get something off that with your partner, or they'll be able to combo where Nemesis himself solo could not. And one thing to note, not immediately apparent to you, the hitbox is obviously quite high, so if someone's ducking, it basically has zero chance to connect. And the smaller characters, like, you know, your Rocket Raccoons, your Mega Mans and that, it's just going to go over their head completely. It's going to have basically zero chance to hit unless they manage to jump into it. But it is a great space controller move. The fierce version, or sorry, the aerial version that is. So here controls quite a bit of the horizontal amount of space. And that's just a big no-fly zone, for lack of a better term. And yeah, if you space it, you see here that last hit can hit on a standing foe. You do need to time it a bit. If you do it too early, you're not going to be able to connect fully, but it is a great overall space control tool. It's a, you know, kind of slimier, greasier Dowson maybe, but he definitely controls a lot of range with that. And once again, if you're a bit closer, you can get combos with it. Now, to speak on the clothesline, so that is Fireball Motion, LP or HP. It is absolutely one of his cornerstone building block moves. See here, that causes wall bounce on the Light Punch version. A Heavy Punch version comes pre-built in with a rocket launcher, but I'm going to say hold back on that at least for a moment. I'll explain that in more detail in a second, but yeah, the Light Punch one is the party starter, you know, get a lot of combos. Almost every combo you're going to have involves it in some way, shape, or form. It does have armor, like all of his moves, and armor will be its own section, because believe you me, he's got armor for days. But one thing I want to mention, since the Fierce Punch we show here has a rocket, I don't find much value in that, because the Light Punch version, you can also hit rocket afterwards, like you manually input the rocket motion, and you can get it. And unlike the Fierce Punch version, you can also opt for the aerial rocket if you hold fierce kick when you do the motion. So you're basically getting that move anyways, and you get to choose and you get to hold it, unlike the Fierce Punch version. So it's just honestly more options for the exact same amount of damage. So, you know, it's there, but I don't recommend it as much as just using the Light Punch version. One thing to note, Light Punch version is hilariously unsafe on block. So if your partner's dead or something, yeah, don't feel like you have the need to toss it out, because you're probably going to lose the match at that point if it gets blocked. But, you know, as the game being what it is, if it is blocked, you know, you can tag and do whatever madness afterwards, that's fine. But yeah, it is very unsafe on block, so solo Nemesises, watch out. Okay, so next up is the Rocket Launcher Slam. That's backwards Fireball Motion, Light Punch, or Heavy Punch. So the move changes depending on which button you hit. Light Punch version slams them in the air, and the Heavy Punch version is a ground bounce. Now, all things being equal, especially for combos, I find the Heavy Punch version just universally more useful, because ground bounce is always good. You can use it as, like, you know, a combo extender, or, you know, just raw super into it afterwards, what have you. You're not going to use it much outside of a combo, but, you know, not all moves are meant to be used raw. And I do want to note here, the Light Punch version, it's hard to use, right? Like, you can get a follow-up, but you usually got a super jump, and then your timing matters if you can even get something after it, because it's honestly, it's just difficult to use. Like, there's gonna be there's setups, there is gimmicks, trust me, especially on the resets we'll go into later, but as just like a raw, like, using it as is intended for as a launcher, it's kind of difficult to use. And now we have the command grab. So he is blessed. He actually has two different command grabs. He has a grounded version, which you get a limited, let's put it that way, combo. I dropped it, whatever. It's only a couple hundred extra points of damage. We're going to go into a little more detail when we talk about resets. But yeah, instead of going for the damage, it's better to go for the resets. And he also has the anti-air version, which is Fierce Kick instead of Light Kick. So, as you know, it would insinuate, it does grab airborne foes. And that's going to be the Reset King, so we're going to go more in detail with that one in that section. And to end on 2 of his supers, because the Punch Super honestly is getting its own section here because it's crazy. So we have Fireball Motion Kicks, and just 3 rockets and a jump. It is very prone to have people fall out of the combo on multiple levels, either on the rockets or angle didn't hit right, or they can recover if the damage scaling is high after the jump, and I don't see much value in this super, to be brutally honest with you. If you know something I don't know about it, please leave something in the comment below, but as it stands, I don't find much value in that super, because you can always do Punch Super instead of it, and that's seemingly universally better. And as for the level 3, so it obviously does level 3 command throw damage, as it is a command throw, and as another added bonus, after a little spit here, you can see Captain Marvel is in a poisoned state, so her health is draining. So with that health drain, it might actually make it the most damaging level 3 in the game. I'm not sure, I haven't run through every single comparison number. But that poison damage does not care about guts. So the lower their health is, it's still going to do the same amount of health drain no matter what, so that's a big bonus. And another thing just to quickly note. So if the foe is poisoned, you want to let that poison run its course, because if they hit you, that poison is going to go away. So if I take control Captain Marvel here and pop, I get poison stops. So it doesn't run that long, but you might want to be a little careful of their offensive options, because you just want to get, it's free damage at that point, so let it run its course. And, you know, can't argue free damage, really. Now, to speak on the rockets. Rocket's obviously a big cornerstone of his offense. You can see that lovely rocket launcher on his model here. You know, it's a big part of his game. So he has the aerial version, he has the grounded version. And quick note on the aerial version, universally you're always level 3 specials in the air. So he can just kind of stay there for a bit. He doesn't fall. So maybe if you're fighting Dormammu and the floor is lava, maybe you just want to stay up there for a little bit and let that run its course. Now, one thing to note, so the durability of the projectile is low. You can see here, you know, it just trades evenly with Reality Stone. But if we hit the foe with it, you can see it says 2 hits. Because that explosion it makes is also a hitbox. So right there, if she did Reality Stone too close, notice it does not say counter hit. It's because the explosion from the rocket is hitting her. So mid-screen, yeah, it sucks, it trades with Reality Stone. But if you manage to get somewhat close, even if they Reality Stone or any other projectile, doesn't really matter, the explosion is still secondary and it will still connect with them. So with that in mind, next thing to mention is the move OTGs with itself. Usually only from full screen, so you can see there. Same deal with the air version. Air version is a bit easier to connect with from anything less than full screen, just because of the angle. But yeah, you can always get an OTG, so if you see full screen, oh, you got a hit, you just do it again, guaranteed follow-up damage. And it's a nice little chunk of damage, because I think it's the most damaging single projectile in the game. It does well over 1,000 damage. But on top of that, and I have Frank as my partner, so it's probably an awful example here, but your partner can always get a follow-up too, as you can see there. So Nemesis by himself, all he can get is that second hit, which still isn't awful, don't get me wrong. But with the partner, he says that you got the OTG, and then you can go for something else. So overall, it makes Rockets a great threat. Like, this is like his big normals, Rockets, like that's what makes him a threat outside of the next thing I'm going to talk about, which is the biggest threatening move he has in the game by far. Alright, so now his Punch Super, the Biohazard Rush. Straight up, just to show, you know, while we're talking, straight up, if it isn't the best super in the game, it's close to it. It's only 1 bar, and you get a massive amount of invincibility, an incredible amount of screen control. Like, you see how far away that hit from? And on top of that, the partner gets a follow-up. It is just absurdly good. You can toss it out for little to no penalty, as long as you have your tag partner up, because otherwise you're dead when it's blocked. But as long as you got your tag partner up, if you feel even the least bit pressure, just go right into it. The invincibility will take care of whatever is in your face. Then you have your partner come in, do whatever. You know, I don't have an optimized combo with Frank, but do whatever optimized combo you have after that. And I can't really say much more than that. It's just, it's so good. It's the best reason to play Nemesis. It's can utterly dominate like this whole area of the screen right here, from like roughly this distance to the enemy character. Nemesis always effectively owns it as long as he's willing to burn a bar. Doesn't matter if they're airborne; it catches them out of the air, leaves them level for the wall bounce. So those your wall bounce combos will remain the same. With Nemesis with 1 bar is one of the least approachable characters in the game because you always have the threat of, I'm just going to randomly do this, and that's half your life, and God forbid you're trying to do your own tag out combo where like you did, like say you fought an enemy Nemesis, for example. We mentioned how this is unsafe on block, right? So they tag out, and you can just immediately start mashing biohazard rush, and you'll catch the tagged out Nemesis before he leaves because the enemy can't force you into block stun anymore due to the fact that you're invincible. But I can't really gush about it more. It's just so good. This is the biggest thing of all the things Nemesis brings to the table. This is the best thing it brings to the table. Just because of the whole way the whole tag system works. There's no downside for just throwing it out there, other than obviously losing your bar. But it's all upside effectively. Now, to speak on his armor. Long story short, honestly, almost everything's armored, and that's kind of all there is to it. So, if you're not aware already, armor is slightly different than the older games. Armor only works for light attacks and projectiles, so a heavy attack will just blow right through it. But when I say he has armor on everything, like, his jab has armor. I just jab through that. Now keep in mind, you will take the full damage as red health, so it is recoverable, but you will still, you can't just do it willy-nilly, but like, his jab, that's crouch light kick, that has armor. Obviously his specials, it's a clothesline. The rocket has armor, if we get the timing correct, there we go. And that can save your life a little bit too, if we have here, because it is a regular projectile, so it is push blockable. So if they push block in your face, you will armor the hit. So you see here, like you're just tanking all these hits. A little further away, the move will end, so you won't get the benefit of the armor at that point. But yeah, armor everything. So all standing stuff, including his command normals here, all crouching stuff, specials on the ground, and in the air, his aerial normals do not have the armor, but Rocket still has the armor in the air, as you can see there. So in the air, Rocket's the only armored move, but other than that, like, he's effectively as close to the thing as a living tank as you get in this game. Like, between that and, like, the nasty invincibility on the biohazard rush, he can just, like, kind of just keep going no matter what. So, we just went over the armor section, and this is why I want to bring this up, because it's a weird little tidbit. So, we got Captain Marvel here. Same deal. So, armor, projectiles don't work, light attacks don't work. But for Nemesis, all of his light kick buttons, for some reason, for the purposes of defeating armor, count as heavies. So we're going to armor up again. So stand jab don't work. Stand light kick works. Crouch light punch don't work. Crouch light kick does work. Stand light punch doesn't work. Stand light kick, or jumping light kick rather, does work. All three of his light kicks, no matter what, they beat armor. So I'm not sure why it's flagged as such, but good little tidbit to know. Now for his reset game. I do believe Nemesis has potentially the strongest solo reset game. Obviously with tag partners, a lot of stuff gets more layered and in-depth and all that. It's mostly off the back of his anti-air grab. And I'm going to show you 2 examples here, and keep in mind these are 2 of many. But 2 examples here of how this works. So our first example here is going to be using the corner rocket loop combo, and if you want to see it in full, I do have the companion combo guide video, and you'll find the link of that at the end of this video. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to end the combo part way through, and then go for the grab reset, and there's not much they can do about it unless they know for a fact this is coming, and they can hold up forward to get out of it, and which we'll cover that, how to deal with that also in a moment. But so, basic example here. So right there, they had no choice but to air reset into it. And obviously after that, you can get like whatever little combo after that too. But yeah, I had no choice but to get out, because at the point I'm leaving them in the combo here, they are airborne. And I'm letting the combo drop partway through. And they have no choice but to air recover into it. So what I'm doing there, after that second rocket loop, I am hitting jab to air reset them, and hitting Fierce Punch, not for having it connect, it's purely a timing thing, because you're able to special cancel your normals before they connect. So I'm going jab and whiffing the standing Fierce Punch into that, and that's the reset. So that's one layer of the reset possibilities. Second example here is off a regular throw in the corner. So you can't get too much off regular throws, just like command throws. So why not, go for the opportunity to get that reset? So we'll do something like this. And same deal, resetting with the jab, canceling into the Fierce Punch, and before the Fierce Punch connects, we're going for the air throw. And once again, that's purely just a timing thing. And this one's just for fun, a bonus third one here. So obviously we get that reset, we get that air throw. So let's reset the reset. So I get that air throw, and you can just kind of loop it ad infinitum if they never learn their lesson. So I did mention earlier about how they could potentially escape by holding up forward. So we have now our aerial recovery here set to diagonal up forward. And we're going to have our foe jump. We're going to try that same setup. And see, they completely got out. So say we know now, they know we know that we know that they know, and we're going to try to hold up forward because they know the specific setup that you've used against them. Try to get out of it. So this is where your tag partner comes into play. So same setup here. And we can chase them down with the tag partner. So you could be like an air throw, it could be try like a cross under or something like that as the air tech, make them guess left right. There's a lot of variety of things. So just because they got out of the grab part of the reset doesn't mean they get part out of anything else after that. So now in closing, that's a bunch of stuff. Once again, just want to harp. This is potentially the best super in the game. It's fantastic. If you're using it, just abuse it, abuse it, abuse it, abuse it. That's all I can really say. One thing also I did mention too, we were missing not mentioning it in the rocket section. If you mash your button while you're doing your rocket move, and you see here, you just get more and more rockets. So it's faster than just doing the special by itself. It is a bit prone to getting reflected in your face from further away from the screen, so keep that in mind. You cannot do it in the air. So in the air, you just have to do your 3 specials, and that's about it. But just one quick little note, I guess. If the opponent is really bad at reflecting, then definitely abuse this, because that's very annoying to deal with. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video found you well. Go out and play some Marvel.